Welcome back to another Backrooms video. Today we have the next two in the Backrooms series, and they are Backrooms Overflow and Backrooms Lighting and Tile Survey. So for Overflow, it's just over a minute and there is no date in the description, intriguingly. So we have no information going into this one, so we're just going to go straight in and see what it's about. Okay, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Well, as I've said, that our negotiations in this area with the Soviets are just beginning. Commerce Secretary Peterson returned yesterday, 2 weeks, mostly in Moscow, but also in Warsaw, during which time very considerable progress was made. We're narrowing our differences, which have kept us from settling our Lend-Lease debt for 25 years. The good faith which the Soviets would demonstrate by settling the debt would set the stage for a presidential order permitting exit bank credits for sales to the Soviets. And it would also open the way for a presidential request of the Congress that
That was someone Beck. I can't remember.
I couldn't really read it.
Okay. Well, not really sure what to say about that one. That was interesting.
So some of them definitely feel a lot more mysterious than
Yeah.
other ones. It was cool though. I really liked all the shots of outside and stuff.
Yeah, like clearly something was overloading and things called overflow. Thought I'd be a little bit more perceptive on this one and have a
Right.
good analysis to sort of make, but I'm really not got too much to say. Like they obviously had the speech at the start,
Yeah.
well, throughout the whole video. I don't know, maybe it's one that you guys are going to have to help us with. Is it just there to add to the like mood, the ambience of all of the like videos so far? Did we miss something very important in that video? Because some I feel like it's just like it adds to the energy, to the like vibe of the whole series.
Yeah.
And yeah, that name felt like it was an important name. I am going to just go back and have a look to see what it says.
Sorry.
I feel like it'll be important.
I was also going to say that like I think there was quite an earlier date on there next to the signature. So that could mean something, I'm not sure. Is that 72?
Okay, yeah.
So that's like years before.
Is that James? Oh God, I'm really bad at reading that writing. James Beck? James...
I'm not sure.
Really bad.
Does that mean they were doing tests all like since 72 then? Or at least like brought the plans in for it maybe? It's interesting. Is it like Joanne? No.
Jean Beck? We're like, in the trailer that they released the other day for A24, for the Backrooms, we were like reading it going, that's Marvin, it says Marvin, and then it just doesn't. So I clearly am bad at writing for some reason. So yeah, just let us know what name that is. Why is it 72? What does this mean? Because I feel like it's important, but we're not getting our heads around it right now. Well, you guys will be our saviours. You'll let us know. So why don't we just go into the next one?
Yes, I think that's probably wise.
So this one is the Lighting and Tile Survey. And this was from the 14th of November 1989. So the year before the events of, you know, the Peter Tench story and all of the ones that we've been watching recently. So yeah, we've gone back in time again. Yeah, so let's check this one out.
Alright. Today is November 14th. That is a Tuesday. It is incredibly cold. Over the time watching this, I actually have a decent heating system down here, that'd be nice. Guy with hypothermia.
No heating in the Backrooms.
I didn't even think about what temperature would be.
Please just drop through the green one, then put it in the red one, right? Because the green one reads.
Confirm.
It's oddly comforting seeing it again.
Back when there was a lot more innocence around it.
Yeah.
Because this is back before the events of everything
That's
so
true.
far. Hate to see what's up there.
I wonder if you get spiders in the back rooms.
Of course, your mind would go straight to spiders.
Oh, there's no one
hates
facing on
spiders,
top, and
by
I'm
the
seeing
way.
a bunch on the floor above. Oh, there's ventilation as well. You see that? You see the vents?
Yeah, it goes around the back to the right.
Some of it's insulated, I think. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a vent guy. I don't know. Oh, it looks no rust, I think. Huh.
More than one floor, and I use that term loosely. We then attempted to cut power to the nearest fluorescent light fixture, a standard troffer. However, we were unable to isolate the power source, and the conduit remained live, despite the absence of any visible external power supply.
Cool.
The source of electrical current remains unknown at this time. Using an insulated toolkit, we carefully isolated the light fixture from its electrical conduit, extracted the troffer from the ceiling, and transported it back inside, back to standard for analysis. The ceiling tile extracted measures 1.27 meters by 1.14 meters, which is certainly not standard, but it's composed primarily of mineral fiber. Seems normal in composition, has a fissured texture with mild tegular edges. So after initial analysis, the composition of the tile estimated is around 60% mineral wool, which is fibers of amorphous silicate, usually derived from, I think it's basalt or slag, around 20% expanded perlite, which is primarily of silicon dioxide and aluminium oxide, and the rest is a undefined mixture of silicate material, some starch, latex polymers, and some organic fibers derived from plant materials. The light troffer housing is made of galvanized steel coated with a thin layer of zinc. Inside, the fluorescent bulbs are non-standard in proportion, most closely resembling T12 bulbs. This seems to be the case for the majority, if not all, of the lights in the complex that we've assessed thus far, mostly just through simple curing. But this is due to magnetostriction and core vibration. But the noise may be exacerbated by loose lamination plates or degradation of the insulating potting material over time.
Which
So it's
ones?
definitely an indication that this has been running for a little bit. I mean, despite its age, the ballast is functional. Its large proportions suggest it was built for a non-standard space, not something you'd find in the majority of offices or most commercial spaces, though that's not something I'm too familiar with, truthfully. Nothing too strange, but that maybe makes things even stranger, because we look at these lights and let's see, so several labels were marked on various components of the troffer. So on the ballast, we found markings for mark it as a universal ballast, Type A, manufactured in 1975 with serial number A75234X. The troffer itself is stamped 3X432, and that was manufactured in 1973 in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it is UL listed. And the bulbs were manufactured by Sylvania, and they're marked F40SW, that's soft white, with no visible date information. It's left blank, but it is noted as made in the USA.
How did they all make their way there?
Outdated in design, the fixture appears fully functional. The stable operation of all light fixtures in the subdivision points to a continuous, potentially autonomous power source, which still remains unidentified. We're doing what we can.
That's weird, isn't it?
The materials used are durable with minimal visible wear, suggesting they were built for long-term, possibly indefinite use.
Either people were aware,
concludes the
or
initial
like,
findings.
I don't even know.
Further investigation is necessary to determine the source of
So yeah, they're able to analyze how like real and authentic like all the materials are and stuff, and how they are like from the real world.
Yeah.
But like there's like was so like a lot of it was standard, but then there was some of it was like not used for the, oh my god, I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but like they were able to identify what everything was made out of, but it was not like the standard for what it's used for.
Yeah.
Do you know, does that make sense?
No, it does.
Like, yes, I don't really know what I'm trying to say, I'm just like focusing on the fact that they were like analyzing all the materials, like everything that was used to create, like, you know, the tiles, the lighting. This is all stuff that like has just been created through them making the Backrooms.
Yeah.
And they are just like replicas of real world materials, but just slightly different and not like the standard for what it's used for. It's quite interesting seeing all of that. It's not the video I was expecting today, but obviously these informative ones can be really useful of like helping in other videos and stuff, and just giving you some extra information, extra knowledge, especially going into like the film. And we've got like we've got Found Footage 3 next, which is I'm so excited for that. And then we've got one more, and then we've got the film. And we've got a couple other things that we want to react to around this as well. Yeah. But yeah, all the information is very much like appreciated, because I'm sure that it's all going to help us when that film comes around.
I think it's really interesting that obviously like the first few tests were done around like 89, 90, right? Is that correct?
Well, the third test was from 1988.
1988. So at the very earliest, I'd imagine that this select group of people were doing tests like and being in the building like in the 80s. So it's interesting that they're going into like all the different materials and they're looking at all the different labels and dates, and everything's from like the 70s. So like, was it put there? Did it just spawn there with the Backrooms? Like, yeah, how does this all come into fruition? How is it all in the same place? Because they're from different areas of the USA and even outside of the USA too, and like, how? Yeah, right. You know? That's the big question. It's very curious.
Very big question with this is just how, for most of it. Well, that was today's video. So we got those last two before the Found Footage 3 done. Yeah, some very informative, interesting videos there. Let us know what we've missed. I'm sure we've missed a lot. We usually do. But yeah, stay tuned, because Found Footage 3 is next, and we should get that done early next week. Yes. Very excited for it. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you've already subscribed, then thank you for continuing to support us. And yeah, see you in the next one.